Alright, so we're going to go over the second half of worksheet 56 here. Of course, remember the first thing we want to do always when doing the distance formula is label our points first. Right? D squared is equal to x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Then we can set up kind of the shell of our formula here with a decent amount of space for us to fill in our points. Just like that. Oh, forgot the minus sign. And then we're just going to put x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1. That should be an x. Then we just got to bring those numbers in. Excuse me. x2 is 3, x1 is negative 9, y2 is 12, y1 is 3. Two negative signs next to each other make a plus, giving us 3 plus 9, which is 12, and 12 minus 3, which is 9. Now we still got to square these numbers, right? Giving us 12 squared, which is 144, and 9 squared, which is 81. Now we got to add those two together. And when we add them, what do we get? 225. Now we just have to square root both sides, and we get D is equal to 15 units. Over to number 10. Again, x1, y1, x2, y2. D squared is equal to blank blank plus blank blank squared, just like that. x2 minus x1, negative 7 minus negative 9. And 10 minus 7 on the right. Two minus signs make a plus. Negative 7 plus 9 is 2. 10 minus 7 is 3. Now we got to square both those numbers and add them up. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. Add them together, and we get 13. Still have to take the square root of both sides, though. Square root the left, square root the right. Can't simplify square root of 13 at all, so our D is just equal to root 13 units. Saw a handful of people drop the square root when they wrote their answer out. We cannot do that. We have to keep our square root on the 13 because we can't simplify it or break it down anymore. Down to 11. x1, y1, x2, y2. D squared is equal to negative 7 minus 5 squared plus negative 3 minus 3 squared. That gives us negative 12 squared plus negative 6 squared. 144 plus 36. And when we add those together, we get 180. Now 180 is not a perfect square, but it's also not a prime number, so we can split it up using a factor tree. 18 times 10. 10 is 5 times 2. 18 is 9 times 2. And 9 is 3 times 3. So if we want to break this down, we can say the left side is D times D. The right side is 5 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. We got a pair of 2's that comes out and a pair of 3's that comes out. And when we bring two factors out in front, we have to multiply them to get 6. But that 5 doesn't have a partner, so it stays behind. And our D is equal to 6 root 5 units. Over to 12. x1, y1, x2, y2. D squared is equal to negative 6 minus negative 7 squared plus negative 8 minus negative 10 squared. 2 minus signs make a plus, 2 minus signs make a plus. Negative 6 plus 7 is 1. Negative 8 plus 10 is 2. One squared is 1, 2 squared is 4. D squared is equal to then 5. Square root both sides. Nothing we can simplify here, just like on number 10. So D is equal to root 5 units. Not just 5 units, but root 5 units. Flipping over to the back, real quick, going through 13 through 16. x1, y1, x2, y2. D squared is equal to negative 10 minus negative 5 squared plus negative 2 minus 10 squared. 2 minus signs make a plus, giving us negative 5 squared plus negative 12 squared. Negative 5 squared is 25. Negative 12 squared is 144. We add those together and get 169. Square root both sides. D is equal to 13 units because 169 is a nice perfect square. Over to 14. x1, y1, x2, y2. D squared is equal to 8 minus 2 squared plus 3 minus 11 squared. 8 minus 2 is 6. 3 minus 11 is negative 8. 6 squared is 36. Negative 8 squared is 64. Add those together and get 100. Now when we take the square root of both sides again, we have a perfect square, giving us D equals 10 units. Moving down to 15, x1, y1, x2, y2. Got to be super careful here because of all these negative signs. x2 minus x1 is negative 6 minus negative 4 squared plus negative 4 minus negative 2 squared. As you guys are all starting first period right now. 2 minus signs make a plus, 2 minus signs make a plus. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. And negative 4 plus 2 is again negative 2. So we got 4 plus 4 gives us 8. And now we can take the square root of both sides. Remember, 8 is 4 times 2 and 4 is 2 times 2. So when we break this square root down, we've got D times D on the left, 2 times 2 times 2 on the right. We can bring a pair of 2's out, and we've got one singular 2 left over. 2 root 2 units. Over to 16, x1, y1, x2, y2. D squared is equal to negative 9 minus 3 squared plus negative 5 minus 11 squared. Negative 9 minus 3, negative 12. Negative 5 minus 11, negative 16. D squared is equal to 144 plus 256. Together that gives us 400. Square root both sides. 400 is our last perfect square on the perfect square table. So we know that D is equal to 20 units. That'll come back up today in what we talk about with 1.3c. So keep that 400 in mind. So there's our work on part 2 of worksheet 56. All 8 of those problems ran through. Went through it pretty quick, but again, you can do this on your own time. If you need to pause, rewind, you could even change the speed of the video on YouTube if you want to drop it down to 0.75 speed, just so it slows it down a little bit. It lets your brain process it a little bit better. But it's up to you, whatever works best for your learning.